Here it is, guys. This is the brand new Polestar 4, the electric car from Polestar a lot of people have been waiting for. And in today's video, we're going to dive deep into all the details from this launch. So starting with the exterior styling, I think this is a very attractive car, especially from the front on look, the dual blade headlights, just the design, the low hood and bumper. It just looks very sporty, and it kind of carries that, Polestar 02 Roadster concept from last year, or now dubbed the Polestar 6. And it's cool to see that it's carrying some of those design elements. And also from this side, it looks sporty. It's actually quite sleek. It looks like it has a very aerodynamic shape, especially compared to the Polestar 2. And Polestar called this an SUV coupe. I don't really see it. To me, it just looks like a saloon. Maybe it's a little bit taller. We're going to get into the details a little bit later, but let me know what you think down below thus far of the looks of this new Polestar 4. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Are you excited? So from the rear 3/4, also a very successful angle. And again, I don't really see any of that SUV shape. Also, it is a saloon, so I'm not seeing a lot of that coupe shape. But it's a very attractive design. And also from the rear design, that light bar, and also there's no rear window on this car. So let me know what you think down below about this car not having a rear window. I'm not a huge fan because I'm not a fan of the mirrors up in the roofline, which are cameras or screens. I just find them a little bit hard and unnatural to focus on. But this is a very cool design. It's a very successful design. And again, I don't see that coupe. I don't see that SUV shape. To me, it just looks like a saloon. It actually looks a lot like a Tesla Model 3 in the shape, maybe just a little bit taller. But that's promising because probably going to have very good aerodynamics. So let's take a look at the interior. We don't have too many photos. Maybe you guys have a little bit more photos than I have before launch because I'm filming this with an NDA before the actual launch. I'm seeing this a few days before you guys, so I don't have all of the pictures, and some of the details I may not have either. But looking at the interior, this is a little bit different from what we see in Polestar 2 and in Polestar 3, and we're gonna get back to that a little bit later in the video. Why? But the first impressions is that it's a very attractive design. It looks practical, but at the same time it looks high quality. It looks like you have a little bit of that cockpit feeling. I'm loving these seats, these sporty seats. Kind of reminds me of the seats I have in my Porsche. The center console with that floating center console, and also that angle design, and also the big screen. So I'm kind of liking the interior. The quality also looks to be very high from what we can see in this here. It looks like to be a lot of fabrics and also leathers, and not a lot of plastics used in this cabin. Before we jump into the details, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Recharge, which is the most awesome charge point operator in the Nordic countries, and actually the largest independent charge point operator in the Nordic countries: Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark, with 4,000 charging points across all of these countries, and all of them open to the public. So they are pretty awesome. So again, huge thanks to Recharge for sponsoring today's video. The Polestar 4 is a medium-sized electric vehicle, and Polestar call it a coupe SUV, calling it, a coupe shape with the practicality of an SUV. And I really believe them that it is practical on the inside, but to me, it just looks like a saloon. I mean, if the Kia EV6 is kind of pushing the envelope between crossover SUV and station wagon, this is even more on the fringe side against not being that. But okay, enough about that. Let me know down below what you guys think this shape should be called. But looking at the dimensions, it is bigger than the Kia EV6. It's actually bigger than all the cars in the class where it is competing when it comes to price. So it's 4.84 meters long, 2.14 meters wide, so pretty wide, and is 1.54 meters high with a wheelbase of 2,999 millimeters. It's built on Geely's SEA platform and is closely related to the Zikr 001. More about that a little bit later. The Polestar 4 will start from 60,000 euros or $60,000 or 55,000 pounds, and that is for the long-range single motor with rear-wheel drive, 272 horsepower, a 102 kilowatt-hour battery pack with a peak charging speed of 200 kilowatts, 22 kilowatt onboard charger, and a WLTP rated range of 600 kilometers. So this is about 10,000 euros more than I predicted the entry-level version to cost, but with these specs, there is still room for an entry-level version at around 50,000 euros, which I think will come to market a little bit later on. We saw that with the Polestar 2 when that came out. It only came out with the big battery pack first and then the smaller ones later. Then we have the long-range dual motor. This is all-wheel drive, 544 horsepower, same battery pack, same peak charging speed, same onboard charger, but this with a WLTP rated range of 560 kilometers and a 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time in 3.8 seconds, making this the fastest production Polestar to date. But interestingly enough, there is a performance pack option, but it doesn't increase the actual power output like it does in the Polestar 2 and the Polestar 3. We're going to get back to that a little bit later because I do have a theory about why that is the case. So it's first going to be launched in China. Production will start in November in 2023 and expect deliveries in Europe and North America in early 2024. When it comes to cabin tech and other interesting tech, it has Android Automotive OS like Polestar 2 and Polestar 3. It also has a 15.4-inch infotainment system screen, a 10.2-inch driver's display, and also an optional 14.7-inch head-up display. It comes with an optional Harman Kardon sound system with 12 speakers and 1400 watts, but if you option for the Nappa leather, you actually get 16 speakers, 2 in each of the headrest in the front seat. You also, in the long-range dual motor, get a semi-active suspension, and also long-range dual motors get performance and eco drive modes. So how does the Polestar 4 now compare with the Polestar 2 and the Polestar 3 and also other competition like Hyundai Ioniq 5 and also Tesla Model Y? So let's take a look at the Polestars first. So the 2 starts from 49,000 euros, the 4 now from 60,000 euros, and the 3 from 88,600 euros. All of these prices are with VAT. They are actually the German prices I'm using as examples in all of these comparisons. So from the 3 to the 2 is only 11,000 euros, but you also have to remember that that 2 is as a standard range single motor and the 4 is as a long range single motor, about 80 or 90 kilometers in difference in WLTP rated range between those two cars. And also the 4 is quite a bit bigger. It's more than 20 centimeters longer. It's much wider and also a much longer wheelbase than that Polestar 2. It's actually much closer in size to the Polestar 3 than it is to the Polestar 2, which is quite interesting. But that Polestar 3 is a completely different vehicle in my opinion. It's on a completely different platform. It competes with much more luxurious cars with that interior. Also comes standard with a much bigger battery, much more performance, and also air suspension. So it's a completely different type of vehicle. I'm also pretty sure that it's going to have completely different ride and handling. So how does the 4 now compare with Tesla Model Y and Hyundai Ioniq 5? Well, from the onset, it may look much more expensive, but also there is no Hyundai Ioniq 5 or Tesla Model Y that actually has 600 kilometers of WLTP rated range. And the closest ones you're going to get are about 5,000 euros less than that Polestar 4 at 55,000 euros. Then you get a Model Y long range, but that's also with the dual motor, so 4-wheel drive, but only has 533 kilometers of WLTP rated range. And then you have the Ioniq 5 with rear-wheel drive and long range. The big battery pack has 507 kilometers of WLTP rated range. So the Polestar 3 may be more expensive than those two cars, but you're also getting a lot more range for that money. And also it's bigger, it's much bigger than that Hyundai Ioniq 5, though it has the same wheelbase. It's more than 20 centimeters longer. It's about 9 centimeters longer than that Model Y. but it actually sits in between the Tesla Model Y and Audi Q8 e-tron in size, just to illustrate how big that car actually is. Now for something very interesting, and that is the Zikr 001, which I think the Polestar 4 is basically based on. Very closely related to that car, like Porsche Taycan, Audi e-tron GT related, really closely related, because there are too many similarities or identical specs for that to be a coincidence. And also they are on the exact same platform, the SEA platform, so it also makes a lot of sense. So first off, they have a very similar shape. The exterior proportions are very similar. Also, wheelbase is exactly the same. And before you go commenting, I know the Polestar 4 has a 2,999 millimeter wheelbase and the Zikr 3,000, but that 1 millimeter, I don't think that's actually real. I think that's just marketing here. And also the height is almost identical, like within a centimeter or two. The Polestar 4 is a little bit short, about 12 centimeters, but again, because of that wheelbase, that is in the overhang, so that really doesn't mean anything. And also, power outputs and variants are the exact same. So both have a rear-wheel drive version with 272 horsepower, and both also have an all-wheel drive version with 544 horsepower that does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.8 seconds. This also explains why the performance version or the performance pack in the Polestar 4 doesn't give any additional power. They just have the same motors and inverters and just gave it the performance pack without doing anything else. That's a little bit lazy. I think they should have limited the long-range dual motor version to a little less power, so you actually got something more for that performance version. And also the same peak charging speed and same 22 kilowatt onboard charger. And also the battery sizes are almost identical. The Zikr has a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack and the Polestar 4 a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. So this may be just down to accounting errors, or it may just be the difference between the gross and the net capacity, because I couldn't find the actual usable or gross capacity cited as that 100 kilowatt hour in that Zikr, and also the Polestar 4 press release doesn't specify if that 102 is gross or net. That may just be why there's a difference there, or the Polestar 4 could have, updated battery chemistry, because the Zikr came out on the market like in 21 or 22, so maybe that's due for a facelift, but also just a little bit updated battery chemistry, as we have seen with the Polestar 2 now with its facelift, just that, battery pack size is increasing a little bit. So one of those, not sure which yet, but most definitely one of those or both of those are viable explanations. And also the same seats. The infotainment system screen is the exact same size. The head-up display is this exact same size. And also the rear 3/4 window is the exact same window. And also the cockpit layout is pretty similar. So that was the brand new Polestar 4. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you excited about this car? Personally, I am. I think this is a smash hit, a home run. I really like that it is bigger than the competition here. It kind of competes in a unique space, but it's not an SUV and it's not a coupe. Doesn't matter what you say, Thomas Engelhardt, CEO of Polestar. This is a saloon. Come on, who are we fooling? But that being said, I'm a fan of the exterior design. I'm a fan of the interior. It looks really good. And I also like the fact that it is based on that Zikr 001, because that's a car I was hoping was coming to Europe soon, but it seems like we're getting the Polestar 4 instead, which looks better and also has a nicer interior, so I like that. So guys, let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.